According to Vayance et al. 2008, talent identification is the process of recognizing current players that have potential to excel. Talent can be hard to identify because talent may not be evident at an early age, but there will be some indicators that enable trained people to identify its presence, according to Williams in 2000. The ability of top-level coaches to be able to identify true talent is highly sought-after quality that ensures clubs or national teams do not lose time, money and prestige by investing in the wrong players, according to Christiansen in 2009. This is especially important in top-level football, where teams pay large amounts of money even for academy players. A great example of this is Billy Gilmour's transfer from Rangers to Chelsea for around £1.5 million, even though he was only 17 years old. Players are signed into academies even younger than this. Clubs register players from the under 9s age group. The Premier League has even brought in new regulations so clubs will be allowed to coach them from any age, as well as playing matches from the under 7s age, according to Austin in 2000. This means that early specialisation is becoming more popular in football, even though it is not necessary in football and there is so much academic literature against it. In the past, English football scouting has focused too much on young players' physical stature rather than technical ability, which has led to a lack of technical players being brought through to the national team. Signing youth players because of their physical stature isn't the most reliable way to scout youth players because of the relative age effect. According to Green in 2017, the relative age effect is a phenomenon in which children born in or close to a critical age cut-off period may have an advantage in both athletic and academic endeavours, meaning that players born in September or October, who are the oldest in their age group, might have a physical advantage over younger players born in July or August. This needs to be taken into account when identifying talent, because the older, more physical players may be too reliant on their strength and might not have developed technically as well as the smaller players who can't rely on strength. An example of a successful talent identification system is the NFL Draft and the NFL Scouting Combine. In the NFL Scouting Combine, players are measured, weighed, put through a series of physical tests and interviews many times over by NFL clubs, and all that's before they carry out drills and practice reps that relate to their specific positions on the field, so that NFL clubs can witness the players' technical and physical abilities, as well as learning more about their personalities and attitudes to help the clubs make more informed decisions in the draft. Another example is UK Sports Talent Identification Model, which is a multi-phase model. Phase 1 is where the selection process begins with a range of generic skill-based tests, which may include sprints, jumps, aerobic fitness, and strength tests. These tests vary from campaign to campaign depending on the sport. Phase 2 and 3 are designed to further assess an athlete's suitability for a sport and better equip them for the journey ahead. This stage may include functional movement screening, medical screening, performance lifestyle workshops, and psychology and behavioural assessments. The final phase is the confirmation phase, where athletes are selected and will embark on a 6 to 12 month confirmation phase, during which they are immersed in the sports training environment. Athletes are exposed to a carefully constructed developmental experience, and their rates of progression are tracked to further assess their suitability for the sport. One massive difference between UK Sports Model and the NFL Draft and Combine is how public the NFL Draft is compared to the UK Sports Model, which is all behind the scenes until the athletes reach elite level. Overall, talent identification is massively important in both team and individual sports, and to be successful, talent needs to be looked at from different angles instead of judging the athlete on what is seen at first.